Assessment Unit of Study, Lawrence Sevier. Okay, my standards. My standards are Arkansas Math Content, KGA2, and that states correctly named shapes regardless of their orientations or overall size. Arkansas Math Content, KGB5, model shapes in the world by building shapes from components and by drawing shapes. Essential questions. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Okay. Essential questions. What are shapes and how do we identify shapes? My goodness, I don't know what's going on. Performance task. After teaching the shapes to the children, they will go back to their seats and work on identifying shapes. I will pass out a worksheet that has the pictures of the shapes on it. I will name a certain number of sides and corners, and the students have to point to the shape that I am naming. I will then call on someone to tell me which shape it was. I will continue to do this until we get through all of the shapes and/or I make sure the students are understanding. I will then individually call the students back to my table and do the same thing, except they will also have to count the corners and sides by themselves. Okay. I don't know why my computer's... Okay, checklist. So on my checklist, I'll have the students can draw all the different shapes, count the sides of the shapes, count the corners of the shapes, and distinguish the shapes by counting the sides and the corners. It'll either be no, they cannot, yes, they can, but they have trouble, or yes, they can fully do that on their own. I do not know why my computer is doing this. Okay. Rubric. So the criteria, the student drew all of the different shapes. They could count the sides of the shapes. They could count the corners of the shapes, and they could distinguish the shapes by counting the sides and corners. It would either be below the standard, approaching the standard, meets the standard, or exceeds the standard. I'm so sorry. I do not know why my computer's doing this. So for my graphic organizer, I'm going to have a Venn diagram, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them list all the facts about the square and the rectangle, and then in the middle here, I'm going to have them tell me how they think a square and a rectangle are alike. Here we go again. I don't know what's going on. My formative assessments, the students will make a house and have to build it using each of the shapes they learn about. And I want the students to be creative with their houses so they can I want them to use all of the shapes that they learned about to create a house. But it doesn't have to be like, if they want to put the triangle on the bottom, that's fine instead of on the top. I want them to be creative with their houses. And their houses will include triangle, square, rectangle, and a circle. And here are my two tests. So on the left here is it's not the modified one, it's a regular. So they will write the name of the shape above each shape, and then they will list how many sides and corners each shape has. And for the modified one, I put the name of the shape is written above each shape. Write down the number of sides and corners of each shape. So this kind of helps them. They know this is a square, and they should know that a square has 4 corners and 4 sides. So that kind of makes it a little bit easier for them. And that is it.